Welcome to Smackdown Live. 12 days out from WrestleMania, I believe. It's not truly compelling on Raw's side much. Essentially, I am interested in Kevin Owens versus the Y2J. I am. Seth Rollins and Triple H isn't bad. I am interested in seeing it to a certain extent, see how far they're going to go with it. When it comes to Brock Lesnar and the Goldberg, I'm not truly interested. But when I see on Smackdown, there's several things I'm interested in. Let's start on one of the things I am not happy about. Smackdown Tag Team Championship match. Alphas versus the Usos. What did I just see? Almost 2 weeks out before WrestleMania, you get a title change. That's bad. I don't care. I know there's a lot of people who love the Usos. I do love the Usos. When it comes to Nicole Beth, I know she also loves the Usos. Possibly Legend likes or loves the Usos. But you guys cannot honestly feel happy about this. Because you got 2 weeks before WrestleMania. What does that mean for a team that's getting the titles before the WrestleMania happens instead of building up to it? You're going to get a jobbing on WrestleMania, either the kickoff show or the show itself. There is no way, unless they're leaving out the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, then I would understand. They decide to forego them being on WrestleMania, and they're leaving it for after WrestleMania for the Alphas to deal with. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I believe now the Usos are going to build up into WrestleMania, and they're going to freaking drop the titles to Alpha or anyone else they believe deserves it. So as far as I'm concerned, that is bullshit. I am calling it bullshit. It is bullshit, and it's going to be bullshit going into WrestleMania. I am not happy with the Usos winning here. Why couldn't you build this up properly? Couldn't the WWE just build up into it, letting the Alphas get bad mouth, get basically smacked in the face by the Usos. Let them badmouth them. Let them have ring segments without them actually having a match. Now you give the Usos a fucking title within, I'm sorry for the cursing, but you give them the title 12 days before WrestleMania. That is just a jobbing. That is just clean jobbing right there. I'll be surprised if the Usos go on WrestleMania, the kickoff show is where I believe they'll be stuck on, and then they're going to job to the Alphas. That's where I see it, and I'm not going any farther. That's one of the things I felt was beyond stupid in this show. Now, Luke Harper had a segment saying pretty much he's going to re-meet his mentor again in a Bray Wyatt. I think it would have been better to leave it until after WrestleMania for him. I think it would have been better for him to be left alone. To be left out until after WrestleMania. It's not like he's going to be in a triple threat. And I feel that people really are interested in Luke Harper. They are. They want to see him do something more going against Bray Wyatt. But if you're going to rush this before WrestleMania, it's a waste. Then you have the match that was actually quite good. And Morgan Hyde, my friend, my buddy, you know what I'm talking about. It is Baron Corbin who was told by Daniel Bryan, you came in at the wrong time. You're having a match against Randy Orton. I am happy about this match because it truly shows that he's reached a point. And it's obvious he jobbed. We know he jobbed because what's going to happen at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. I mean, Intercontinental title, not the U.S., I'm sorry. The Intercontinental title, you basically had to have him job for Dean Ambrose to get over. I'm alright with that. And in between him having the job to Randy Orton and then getting badmouthed by Dean Ambrose, he puts on a damn good match. He has grown as a performer in the ring. I still believe he needs more work as a talker. There's no way he's a good talker right now. He's an average talker. I do believe he can get much better with time, particularly if he got a strap around his waist. He has to step up his game if he does get himself a belt. But as it stands now, he's very good in the ring, but his talking is pretty much lacking. He needs some work. But I love that match. It was a good match. End of days, and then a black hole slam right after almost getting RKO'd. I felt that was good. The Miz segment, oh my goodness. Not Miz TV. The Total Miz, I think will be better to say. Not Total Bella, Total Miz, where, let me put it to you like this. They are trying to put the Miz over as much as they can to make him a credible annoyance to John Cena. And I am so happy that they did, because that was funny. He's all like this, cock diesel, at least trying to be all muscled out like John Cena, saying, this is John Cena's home. We don't really have many friends anymore because we got rid of them. Oh, John Cena's rule number 8. Do not tell me you want to be pushed as Divas champ or as women's champ while the camera's rolling. I think they took a couple of hints from the community who really does believe that John Cena is truly helping his woman. And we already know to some degree, it's not a lot, but at least as far as we know, he is helping his woman get stuff. There's no way they just gave it to her that much. Not saying that, and I'm making it very clear for Brie fans and Nikki fans. Of course, Brie fans are now Nikki fans because Brie has retired and now she's a mama. I'll put it like this. Brie was good, but she didn't really improve that dramatically. Nikki is much better than Brie, and she has improved not just because she didn't work she did work. She worked hard. But let's be honest, Johnny helped her to some extent, which that happens in the business. It does happen. You got people who are married in the business. They try to help one another. It does happen. And I'm saying this for someone who loves Naomi. She'll probably be here. You can't tell me that Jonathan didn't go to someone and say, come on, give my woman a break. She's been busting her ass. Come on. And Trinity didn't go to say, hey, do something for my brother and my husband. They're working hard. That happens. So there's nothing wrong with it. It happens in the business. But was the segment funny as hell? Yes, it was. It was awkward, it was stupid, and it was funny. Every time he says, well, you know, you deserve something. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a ring. She gets disappointed every single time. Maurice did her part, and I loved it. Now, let's get to one very convoluted women's match. What did I see? I can understand they tried to do this 7 days out before the WrestleMania. So in actuality, this is 2 weeks before WrestleMania actually happens, which I actually feel is a lot better than how Raw does it than the week before it actually happens. This is 2 weeks before. So I feel like at least it's a nice change up. You basically have Becky Lynch versus Carmella and the, as they call, as JBL calls him, the troll of the WWE, N.A. James Ellsworth. Was James Ellsworth funny? I think his appeal has gone from here to here, and it's slowly going down. I think he's reaching a plateau, and he's dropping. He's not as funny as he used to be. That's one of the reasons why they don't show him much on TV. People are not that much interested in him, particularly that he's a heel. If he was a face by himself, still working with a Dean or an AJ, they would still have a great interest in him. But now working with Carmella, it's not really helping anymore. Then you have the Natalya, the gorgeous Natalya. Oh, she's so pretty. And then you get in the ring with that. I just saw a big train wreck there. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. And having the Alexa Bliss standing over everybody, it was the wisest thing to do. I'm just surprised they were willing to do this 2 weeks before WrestleMania instead of the week before. And I know the reason why they're doing it is because Raw is going to be doing it 1 week out. And they don't want to have one after the other unless they're going to be stupid enough to do it twice. At least they did this with the women, which I'm actually glad they did this early. The men are probably going to be next week. We know this. But anyway, it wasn't bad. Fandango and Kyler Breeze with titties. I'm sorry for talking in such a derogatory action, but what else can you say with him looking like Nikki Bell's with implants? Oh my gosh, did they go too far with that? Oh, what did I just see? I think I'll have it in my face while I've been trying to make sense of this. And now I'm going to take it away. I just, if it's not in the corner right now, I'm just, editing me, please just make sure you put it in the corner. I'm just going to laugh. And that was so stupid. Why did you use the fashion police in that way? And the fashion police care more about his freaking Nikes. And that's John Cena. I don't know what to say, ladies and gentlemen. They tried to put Brie over by letting him, not Brie, Nikki. I don't know why I'm getting Brie and Nikki mixed up. But Nikki picking up Tyler Breeze, AAing him, and then STFing him along with John Cena. I mean, they're really trying hard to put these two over. And to a certain extent it's over, but let's be honest. The true faces of this feud are The Miz and Maurice. And that's all I see. It's like what they say, an old adage is a pig in a blanket. No, not a pig in a blanket. You can put lipstick on a pig, but to go to the fair, but it's still a pig. I think that's better than a pig in a blanket. You can't make this look any better than it is. You got the heels, who are the Cena family, and you got the faces, who are the Miz family. I just don't know what else to say. What else do we have here? If I'm forgetting anything, I'm sorry. Oh, I know I talked about Luke earlier, but now you have the Randy Orton segment, talking with Renee Young. I felt that this entire segment, once it went dim, then you saw a lot of people in the background, and then you saw Bray pretty much holding something like a cross on a tennis racket onto Randy Orton's stomach. They're trying to go dark with this. They're trying to make this something special. And to be honest, as dark as they're trying to make it, it just feels the same. You know why? Here's the thing. When you look at this situation with Bray Wyatt, he was supposed to be a main eventer nearly 2 to 3 years ago. He should be way higher than he is right now. He should have been allowed to win against The Undertaker, then Brock Lesnar, and be used like an Undertaker type of character. And they have not done that. Now, after all these years, where people have been bitching and moaning about him, now they're pushing him. They gave him a title without giving him a low-tier title first. They gave him a high-tier title. And then they do this. Trying to put him over, saying that Sister Abigail is gone and he now truly has the power. When he's been talking about for years that he's always had the power from Sister Abigail. And that's where the flaw is. By you destroying Sister Abigail, he shouldn't have any powers at all. And because you did this in such a way, because of the bad, shitty booking for years, it makes no sense. Continuity for the last 4 years has been so bad. And it doesn't work for me personally. As much as I want to see Bray Wyatt as a true main eventer, and should have been pushed properly. And I'm glad that he's going to be starring and closing the show of WrestleMania. I don't know what else to say. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. There's something missing. Maybe you guys can tell me what's missing. I just don't feel like it's right. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the beatdown of AJ Styles. Or maybe I should say the bitching out of AJ. I think that's the best way to say it. Look, Andre, I've always said Andre Corbin is a great great reporter for wrestling. And he knows AJ Styles. And I've seen his few of the interviews that he's shown talking to AJ on Skype. And the thing that I always love about AJ, and I'm not saying that what he's done isn't different than what he's done before in the past in TNA or in ROH or anywhere else he's worked. But AJ's always had a certain style that he always goes by. And yes, he's changed it a lot. But when it came to this segment at the end of the show with Shane McMahon, and that guy got one hell of a shiner. You could see it in my face. That was a damn good shiner he got from that car. The problem I felt was that when he came from the parking lot to the ring, and then he grabbed some mic and said, hey, calm down, calm down. I thought he was going to say, calm down, wait until WrestleMania, let's have our moment. No. He's apologizing for what he did. He got bitched out. I know, I've seen AJ over the last couple of years, and he has gone acting like a really garbagey heel. A chicken shit heel sometimes. But I've never seen him bitched out. Never. And I'm not saying that after that part was over that he didn't redeem himself and kicked Shane McMahon's ass. But seeing him have to do that truly upset me to no end. Seeing AJ bitched out was bullshit. It would have been better that they just let him say, look, let's wait until WrestleMania. I will face you in WrestleMania. You pissed my ass off. You treated me like crap. I'm going to kick your ass at WrestleMania. That would have been understandable. Then they could have had to fight, and then Shane could have still got over on him. You know what I mean. He could have said, I'm going to leave, and then he runs back and attacks Shane, and then they could have still had the same thing. By bitching him out, that made me feel like he was weak. And I don't like that. Even though he did, to a certain extent, beat up Shane and kicked his ass and then got his ass kicked at the end of it and Shane limping away with his hand on his rib, it just didn't feel right. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below, and I hope you enjoyed the same view. Please give me a comment below. I'm probably going to be doing a debate of the week about what happened with Paige, Xavier Woods, and Brad Maddox. Watch for it. I think I'm probably going to do it. Hopefully you like what I think about it. Have a good day. Have a good night.